The O'Briens were the picture of success. They were the envy of their community. Patrick, the patriarch, was a renowned lawyer, known for winning impossible cases. His wife Eleanor was an accomplished artist, and her gallery openings were legendary. They had two beautiful children, James and Olivia. James, following in his father's footsteps, was in law school. Olivia, a budding writer, had just published her first novel. From the outside, their life looked perfect, a portrait of happiness and achievement. But appearances can be deceiving. Behind the facade of success, a storm brewed. The O'Brien family harbored a dark secret, a secret that had been buried for decades. It festered like a wound, hidden from the world. This secret had the power to shatter their seemingly perfect lives. They clung to the hope that it would remain buried forever. Patrick's legal troubles began subtly, a whisper of a scandal, a hint of impropriety. He dismissed them easily. His reputation, he believed, would protect him. He was Patrick O'Brien, the untouchable lawyer. He had navigated the legal system for years, knew its every loophole, every trick. He believed he was invincible, but the whispers grew louder. The allegations became more serious. The press got involved. The scandal exploded, engulfing Patrick and his family. The perfect facade crumbled. The O'Brien name, once synonymous with success, became synonymous with scandal. Their world was turned upside down. Eleanor, once the epitome of grace and composure, retreated into herself. The scandal wasn't just a legal battle. It was a family drama unfolding on a public stage. Behind closed doors, the O'Briens argued, blamed, and retreated further into themselves. The secret they had guarded so fiercely now threatened to tear them apart. Patrick, his pride wounded, refused to admit wrongdoing. He fought the allegations with every fiber of his being. He was a man used to winning. He couldn't fathom the possibility of defeat. His denial became a wall, isolating him from his family. Eleanor, torn between her husband and the truth, found herself in a moral quandary. She had always believed in Patrick, in their life together. But as the evidence mounted, she couldn't ignore the doubts that gnawed at her soul. James, idealistic and ambitious, found his faith in his father shaken. He had always idolized Patrick, seeing him as a role model. Now, he questioned everything he thought he knew. The legal principles he held dear seemed to crumble before his eyes. Olivia, the quiet observer, became the family confidant. She listened to their fears, their anger, their despair. She absorbed their pain like a sponge. Her writing became her outlet, a way to process the turmoil that engulfed her family. The O'Brien family's secret wasn't a single event. It was a legacy of silence passed down through generations. A pattern of denial and repression that had taken root deep within their family tree. The current scandal was merely a symptom of a much deeper wound. Patrick's father, a stern and distant man, had ruled their household with an iron fist. Emotions were suppressed. Weakness was not tolerated. Secrets were kept hidden, buried deep within the walls of their home. Eleanor had grown up in a world of appearances. Her family valued social standing above all else. Emotions were for private consumption. Scandals were to be avoided at all costs. She had learned to present a perfect facade to the world, hiding her true self behind a mask of composure. James, raised in the shadow of his father's success, felt the pressure to live up to the O'Brien name. He had been taught to be a winner, to never show weakness. He had buried his own doubts and insecurities, fearing they would be perceived as failures. Olivia, the youngest, had always felt like an outsider in her own family. She observed their carefully constructed facade with a detached curiosity. She sensed the undercurrents of pain and secrecy, but she couldn't quite grasp their source. As the legal battle raged on, the O'Briens retreated further into themselves. They became strangers living under the same roof. The weight of their legacy, the burden of their secrets, became an impenetrable barrier between them. Patrick, once a charismatic and commanding presence, became withdrawn and irritable. He lashed out at his family, blaming them for his misfortune. He couldn't accept responsibility for his actions, clinging to his denial as his only defense. Eleanor, her spirit crushed under the weight of their shattered life, retreated into a world of silence. She found solace in her art, but even her paintings reflected the darkness that had seeped into her soul. James, his idealism shattered, struggled to reconcile the image of his father with the man he saw before him. He felt betrayed, angry, and lost. He turned to alcohol to numb the pain, seeking escape in fleeting moments of oblivion. Olivia, the silent observer, became the family's anchor. She saw the pain they tried so hard to conceal. She understood that their secrets were not just about the present scandal, but were deeply intertwined with their past. Olivia, the quiet observer, found her voice amidst the chaos. She had always been the family listener, the one who absorbed their pain and secrets. Now she refused to be silent any longer. She confronted her family, demanding they face the truth. James, fueled by anger and resentment, lashed out at his father. He accused Patrick of ruining their lives, of sacrificing their family for his own ambition. He couldn't understand how his father could have betrayed their trust so deeply. Eleanor, torn between her husband and her children, finally broke her silence. She confronted Patrick, demanding he take responsibility for his actions. She reminded him that their family was crumbling and that their silence was only making things worse. Patrick, faced with the combined fury and disappointment of his family, finally began to crack. His carefully constructed facade crumbled, revealing the scared and broken man beneath. He had spent his life building walls, protecting himself from the pain of his past. Now, those walls were closing in on him. The O'Brien family's journey to healing began with a painful unveiling of the past. They gathered in the living room of their once grand home, now a symbol of their shattered lives. They came together, not as a perfect family, but as broken individuals, seeking solace in shared pain. Patrick, his voice trembling, began to speak of his childhood. He spoke of his overbearing father, the man who had ruled their home with an iron fist. He spoke of the pressure to succeed, the fear of failure that had haunted him his entire life. Eleanor shared her own story of a childhood spent upholding appearances. She spoke of the emotional void in her own family, the lack of affection that had left her feeling empty and alone. James, his anger giving way to a deep sadness, spoke of his own struggles with his father's legacy. He spoke of the pressure to be perfect, the fear of disappointing the man he had always idolized. Olivia, the family observer, listened with empathy and understanding. She saw the connections between their past and their present, the patterns of behavior that had been passed down through generations. The O'Brien family's journey to healing was not easy. There were setbacks and arguments, tears and recriminations, but they persevered, driven by a shared desire to break free from the chains of their past. Patrick, stripped of his arrogance and denial, began to confront his demons. He sought therapy, hoping to understand the root of his destructive behavior. He reached out to his children, seeking forgiveness for the pain he had caused. Eleanor, finding strength in her vulnerability, reconnected with her art. She poured her pain and her hope onto the canvas, creating works that reflected her journey of self-discovery. James, finally free from the weight of his father's expectations, began to forge his own path. He turned away from the cutthroat world of corporate law and found fulfillment in representing the underprivileged. Olivia, her voice stronger than ever, continued to write. She used her words to explore the complexities of family, the power of secrets, and the enduring nature of love and forgiveness. The O'Brien family story is a reminder that redemption is possible, even in the face of great adversity. It is a testament to the power of truth, the importance of forgiveness, and the enduring strength of family. Patrick, once a symbol of arrogance and ambition, found humility and compassion. He dedicated his life to making amends for his past mistakes, using his legal expertise to fight for those who had been wronged. Eleanor, her spirit reignited, became a patron of the arts, supporting young artists and using her platform to promote healing and understanding. James, finally at peace with his family's past, became a passionate advocate for social justice. He used his legal skills to fight for the marginalized and the oppressed, honoring the values he had always held dear. Olivia, her voice reaching a wider audience, became a best-selling author. Her books, inspired by her family's journey, explored themes of redemption, forgiveness, and the power of second chances. The O'Brien family's story is a poignant reminder that the ties that bind us can also be the chains that hold us back. It is a testament to the importance of confronting our secrets, seeking forgiveness, and embracing the messy, complicated beauty of family. Their journey teaches us that healing is possible, but it requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to confront the darkness within ourselves and within our families. It reminds us that secrets have power, but so does the truth. The O'Briens emerged from the wreckage of their past, forever changed by their experiences. They learned that true strength lies not in hiding from our flaws, but in embracing our imperfections. They discovered that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but an act of extraordinary courage. And they found that the ties that bind a family, though tested by adversity, can ultimately be the source of our greatest strength and resilience.